Once the states and EPA understands what controls are needed to achieve those loadings, we're asking the states to go out there and look at their programs, their delivery programs, and ask themselves, what is my capacity in my delivery programs for point sources and non-point sources? Do I have the capacity, the authority, the funding, whatever it might be, to achieve the controls that are prescribed in this state implementation plan? So we're asking the states to develop a program capacity assessment. Once that assessment is completed, then we're asking the states to identify the gaps in their capacity. It is our expectation that the states do not presently have the capacity to achieve all the controls that might be prescribed in their state implementation plan. So there would be a gap analysis of laundry list of things that they might want to add to their current capacity in order to deliver the nutrient load and sediment load reductions that are prescribed in their state implementation plans and the TMDL. And then we move on from that gap analysis. We will be asking the states, and we were starting today with this, to identify 2-year milestones of capacity filling or gap filling ideas of how they're going to enhance their implementation, how they're going to enhance their programs to accelerate the nutrient sediment reductions that we have in place. And I would offer to you all that in my mind, in this whole framework, there's three layers of accountability. And I offer this 2-year milestones as the first layer of accountability. This is the leadership holding themselves accountable to the public, saying, in 2 years, here's what I'm going to achieve. And as was said earlier, in 2 years, these same people will be here saying, here's what I did achieve. So there's an important layer of public accountability in this step here of identifying these 2-year milestones. And as Jeff mentioned, if it looks like these 2-year milestones in a state may not be accomplished, we're asking the states to look into contingencies, to look at that Plan B if Plan A doesn't look like it's going to make it. And I would offer that as a second layer of accountability, whereby the states are accountable to themselves. That if I, a state or EPA, cannot deliver on Plan A, I will look into implementing Plan B. So again, the second layer of accountability. Moving on from there, obviously we need to monitor how all this is going. Is it going well? Are we delivering what we thought we were going to deliver? And we need to be reporting to you and ourselves as to how it's going. And then lastly, in this framework, I offer what I see as the third layer of accountability, and that is, as we're looking at how this is going, if it's not going as planned, if it looks like the progress isn't as we had promised, then EPA holds out the option of employing consequences to a particular state if the controls as promised were not delivered. Now, one of the first questions I might get is, what are those consequences? We have not figured that out yet. We're hoping this summer to provide the states with some of our thoughts as to what those consequences could be. But I would offer that as the third layer of accountability in this framework. So together, I think this framework offers new opportunity for holding ourselves accountable and for driving the nutrient and sediment controls that we need. Opportunity that we did not have before or did not employ before, and you will not see this in any other TMDL in this country. To close up a little summary of the schedule that we have for the TMDL. First of all, the state implementation plan development should be starting about now, and we're asking the states to be through a good first draft of that state implementation plan by this time next year. That state implementation plan and the detail in that plan is critically important to the TMDL. It will be fed into the TMDL. What point source loading reductions are you prescribing in that plan? What non-point source load reductions? We will be putting that into the TMDL. This is a complex process that needs a lot of public and local input and support, and we will be having 2 layers of public involvement. The first one will be this summer. We're hoping to have Bay TMDL 101 sessions throughout the watershed in each state, and they are being planned right now, and we're hoping to have those public sessions in June through September of this year. Then about this time next year, we're expecting to have the formal draft TMDL that has all these loadings in draft. And we're hoping to go out to a formal public comment period and some public meetings throughout the watershed again, offering our analysis of these loadings and why we arrived at the loadings, how we arrived at the loadings, and seeking public input on the analysis that we had done. And then lastly, as was said earlier, we are expecting to finish this TMDL by December of next year. And again, our hope and expectation is that with the finalization of this TMDL and the framework that we're building around this TMDL, that we really have a confident road to the future of getting the nutrient and sediment reductions that we all are looking for.